So you're going south, you're concentrating on events in the south, and not least, and perhaps most importantly, the economy. It was the economy which led to what many commentators would agree was an electoral disaster for Sinn Féin in 2007. You talked about doubling the number of seats. You lost a seat. Many people say because of Sinn Féin's lack of clarity on economic issues. What have you done to address that lack of clarity that will make the electorate embrace you now? Because the evidence is they're not.
Well, I think it's true that the economy may have done for Sinn Féin at that election, because as it ended up, people had a clear choice between Enda Kenny on the one hand and Bertie Ahern on the other hand, and Sinn Féin was squeezed between those two monoliths. But listen to what we were saying during that election. We were saying that the economy should serve the people, that the surplus should be invested in public services, in education, in hospitals. Now, what are people now saying? Exactly that. The scandal is that the golden circle, which everyone now accepts existed because of the work of the tribunals, actually just regrouped and is now manifest in corrupt banking practices by some bankers, in whatever's going on within those financial institutions, and the way that public monies is being used to enhance privateers, those who are engaged in property and other speculation and privatisation of hospitals. Now, Sinn Féin has a very, very clear message in all of those matters, and we believe firmly, I mean, there could be upwards of 400,000 people unemployed. Yeah. There could be upwards of 500,000 people in the entire island unemployed by the end of the year. And Sinn Féin believes that government policy should be directed to jobs retention and jobs creation.
So there's economic and political chaos in the south at the moment. I mean, the Fianna Fáil has dropped to its lowest recorded ever support in opinion polls. The Labour Party has benefited from that. It's doubled its vote. Sinn Féin hasn't hardly moved at all. What do you think accounts for that?
Well, first of all, these are all opinion polls.
Sure they are,
but let me say this. There's a big election coming up for us in June. We'll be fighting local government elections across the south on the same day as we contest European elections across the island. And that will be a very, very practical demonstration of both our ability as an All-Ireland party to engage right across the island, and also
But it must be very worrying for you that here's a time when you should be, if your analysis is correct, people should be flocking to the Sinn Féin banner, and they're clearly not.
Well, no, you can't say they're clearly not.
The indications are that they're not.
Well, with respect, Noel, the big thing that happened in the last year in the south was the Lisbon Treaty. All of the parties, including Labour, Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, the broad breadth of the business, or at least the upper business community, the establishment media, all campaigned for a yes vote. Sinn Féin, along with others, campaigned for a no vote.
But you're not going to claim that the no vote was a Sinn Féin vote.
No, and I don't do that. In fact, I've made it very, very clear that we don't say that was a Sinn Féin vote.
So there's going to be a second referendum, and all indications are, again, that the country is going to vote yes. Where does that leave you?
But that's what was said the last time. We were told the last time that the country was going to vote yes. The state voted no. The people voted no. So anyway, why did I raise that with you? I raised that with you as an indication that people have wakened up to the reality that the Conservative parties are not delivering for the plain people, aren't delivering for working or for middle income.
So they're all going to vote Labour?
Well, let's see. Let's have an election first.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that is...
I mean, what's the Ardèche? What's the Ardèche? What's the raft of talented, articulate, young activist councillors, TDs, MEP, Shanador, right across the state, right across the island, who will be coming forward, engaging ferociously and fiercely and passionately.
So where will you be standing on Lisbon this time round, by the way? Because, I mean, there have been, we understand there will be concessions on ethical issues like abortion, on Irish neutrality, on retaining every country retaining a commissioner, Ireland having a commissioner. So are you going to say vote yes or no to Lisbon too?
Well, our position at the moment is that if the government wants to foist the same treaty upon the people, would be called upon the people to vote no. The government can explain in detail what it has come back with in terms of a new treaty, then we look positively at that. But all the signs at the moment is that the government's simply going to try, and the other Conservative parties are simply going to try and browbeat or blackmail people into voting yes. And I don't think people are going to do that.
All right. And in terms of party reorganisation, one thing that has become very clear is how you're putting the emphasis now on southern leadership. We're going to have Mary Lou McDonald is going to be the new Vice President, Pat Doherty standing down after more than 20 years, a lot of other people moving into key positions who are southern politicians. Does that leave the northern leadership out in a bit of a on its own, or out of the whole thing?
We're a national leadership. You know, sometimes there's a greater focus, and what happens is because, you know, BBC is a partitionist institution, you know, we generally don't hear news from the south on an ongoing basis the way we would about the north. So the focus here may be on the northerners. What we want to do is to build the southern leg of our party. We have very, very strong southern leaders. They're now going to come more and more into positions
but
of
your
public
change in leadership
responsibility.
is a tacit admission that you got it wrong last time round, that people did not recognise or support the northern leadership. Nothing to do with coverage in this part of the world.
Well,
the southern electorate did not care for or recognise the people who were leading your campaign. Would you accept that?
No, I don't accept that. But let me say this. The business of politics, like the business that you're engaged in, is all the time a process of re-engagement, of trying to set different trajectories. And all parties, you know, all human institutions, including political parties, have to regenerate. If you don't regenerate, you die. So we're all the time trying to create opportunities for bright young people who are Republicans to come forward and to serve this party. And I think we're very, very lucky that we have so many young people who are prepared to step up to the plate and to take up their responsibility.
But you're staying.
Yes, I mean, we have work to do. We have to continue to try and bed down the institutions here in the north. We have a lot to do in terms of tackling sectarianism, tackling issues which were very much brought into the public focus in the wake of Eames and Bradley. There are unresolved matters that need to be sorted. The big issue of poverty and equality right across the island. So I am staying, yes.
Truth is one of the big things in the Eames-Bradley report, and Gerry Kelly has been on BBC worldwide television talking about the importance of truth. People still want to say, though, Gerry Adams, you won't tell the truth about your IRA involvement.
Well, I do tell the truth. I mean, people may have a different opinion, but that's another matter.
And the truth is?
Well, you know the truth.
That you were never and have never been a member of the
Absolutely.
IRA. Provisional Sinn Féin, what's wrong with calling Sinn Féin Provisional Sinn Féin? There's a big row in the Assembly recently.
Well, I mean, it's the name of the party is Sinn Féin. Incidentally, as one who has been through
You denying your heritage?
No, not at all. As one who's been through all of these various moves over the last period, I never liked the term provisional. We were always Sinn Féin, and clearly we should call people what they want to be called themselves.
We've moved from Joint First Minister for Martin McGuinness now to Co-First Minister, you're calling. What's wrong with Deputy?
Well, Deputy is the formal name. The fact is it is a joint ministry. The two of them are like Siamese twins. First of all, Ian Paisley and Martin McGuinness, and now Ian...
But you don't like the word deputy, clearly.
I don't mind the word deputy. What's wrong with it?
Well, you tell me, because you call him co-First Minister on some of your websites and joint First Minister in the Assembly, so there's clearly something wrong with it.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the issue is.
You don't have a problem with it?
No, not at all.
So you'd be perfectly happy for him to continue to be called deputy on all bits of paper?
I'd be even happier if he was the First Minister, but that's another issue.
Gerry Adams, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Noel.